My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. Going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy. For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence.
Tariffs have also led to political decimation. When McKinley most famously put tariffs on in 1890, they lost 50% of their seats in the next election. When Hot Smoothie put on their tariff in the early 1930s, we lost the House and the Senate for 60 years. So they're not only bad economically, they're bad politically.
President Trump touting his new tariffs as a major win for America, but Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky says it's a really bad idea. We're going to go through the president's plan and the international reaction straight ahead. Plus, we'll dig into new reporting that Elon Musk might be leaving DOGE after massive cuts to the federal workforce. Also ahead, we'll get expert legal analysis on a key hearing over the Trump administration's deportation flights to El Salvador. Good morning and welcome to Morning Joe. It is Thursday, April 3rd. With us, we have the co-host of our fourth hour, Jonathan Lemire. He's a contributing writer at The Atlantic, covering the White House and national politics. Former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Ratner. A great day to have Steve on to get his analysis of what's happening. Co-founder and CEO of Axios, Jim Vandehei, is here, and CEO of the Messina Group, Jim Messina. He served as White House Deputy Chief of Staff to President Obama and ran his 2012 re-election campaign. Good to have you all on board this morning, along with Willie and me. So Wall Street is reacting sharply overnight to President Trump's sweeping tariffs on most major trade partners with the United States. The Dow futures were down as much as 1,000 points, while the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ have lost around 3%.
So actually, I wanted to share something with you guys about the stock market. And I actually pulled this up today. I checked it myself. I was just kind of curious and see if I can break this down and give you the long and short of it, the TLDR. Essentially, Chris Sain, he put up a video yesterday as he was stuck at an airport, likely Washington, D.C., due to multiple layovers, and was discussing the recent volatility in the stock market, which he calls a clearing out event. He attributes the market's wild fluctuations to President Trump's tariff announcement and a subsequent liquidation day versus liberation day. And he expects follow-through volatility today and advises everybody that's watching not to panic, as this could be a buying opportunity for retail investors. He goes on to then even discuss some household names that probably on people's buying list, and that immediately brings me to Tesla, because I don't know, I'm just kind of curious. I'm interested. There's a lot of rumors and talk going around about Tesla and Elon Musk, so I keep that one on my radar. Chris also suggested that when the dust settles, stocks on viewers' know, like, and love lists, for example, Netflix and Meta, may drop to attractive price levels for long-term investment. And he emphasizes strategic thinking, noting that the market will likely rally once tariff concerns ease. And he also encourages flexibility in trading, making money in both directions, for example, using puts to profit on downturns rather than just buying on the dip. Also advising patience. Don't rush into anything today. Let the market show how its direction, potentially dropping another 1 to 5%, and then dollar cost averaging into favored stocks.
Market reaction after hours, I've never seen anything like it. This, I think fair to say, is worse than the worst case scenario of the tariffs that many in the market expected the president to impose. You laid out a number of the percentages there, and there's some question of how the administration calculated the percentages that they're responding to in each of these cases. Are they adding in value-added taxes? He talked about, non-tariff barriers as well. So I think while many were hoping that this would eliminate uncertainty, there's going to be more uncertainty in the market. And from those watching policy tomorrow on, if countries push back on how these non-tariff barriers were calculated, will there be wiggle room here? Exactly when do these go into effect? How quickly are companies going to have to adjust their pricing? So many questions.
He plans to release another video later on today of the top 10 stocks to buy after this event once he gets settled. And for now, he just urged everybody to stay calm, think long-term, 1 to 5 years, and not be deterred by short-term losses. And he even says he'll be active on his Discord. Likely, we will be active on Patreon. We don't have a Discord. I have Patreon. I was considering beginning a Substack, if that would be better or easier for folks. Let me know if you prefer Substack over Patreon. Just kind of curious. And, Rand Paul actually, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And of course, a network like MSNBC would love nothing more than to find a Republican in opposition of Republican President Trump. Got it. So Rand Paul just clearly made a statement based on historical, evidence and in fact. But the fact that tariffs caused 60 years of political duress isn't necessarily entirely true. It can't be proven to be false either, but I don't think that was the only thing that did it. Coincidentally, at the time, yeah, sure. You can connect any dots that you want to suit your particular narrative or agenda. But more so importantly, I was like, well, if we can find a Republican against President Trump, tariffs, can we find a Democrat for President Trump tariffs? In which, no, we can't. Because the Democrats are all in unison, at least in opposition. And they will not, even if, again.
And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
President Trump could cure cancer. They would collectively oppose it. That's just how they roll, okay? It's terrible. It's awful for the country and humanity in general, but that's just how they operate. Or better yet, how they're instructed to operate, more so by the deep state. So the closest I could even come to a recent example to share with you of a Democrat siding with Trump, granted not necessarily directly on tariffs, but in politics in general, is Mayor Eric Adams. And he had some choice words recently on a podcast that he was sitting in on, and he made reference to Kash Patel, Kash Patel's book, The Deep State, more importantly. And I'll show that to you guys here in just a second. Mika Brzezinski alludes to possibilities of Elon Musk leaving DOGE, obviously trying to make it seem like to her, less informed and uneducated audience that things are not so hot over there, a little shaky, a little rough, and they want him out. But we've already talked about this. We've already discussed it. As a special employee or the terminology for Elon Musk within DOGE and working with President Trump and in any shape or form within the government categorizes him, classifies him as an SGE, which is a special government employee.
So it is being reported that Elon Musk will be stepping down from DOGE at the end of May. And while there will be speculation that he did so under duress because of the pressure that he has received from his companies, the truth is that Elon was a special government employee, which means he could only work for 130 days. And then beyond that, he has to become a government employee. And that just doesn't make sense for Elon Musk. He has XAI, he's got X, Starlink, Neuralink, SpaceX, you name it. So his time is better served focused on his own companies and his innovations. But I want to personally thank Elon Musk for shedding light on DOGE. Clearly, his team is competent and professional, not a bunch of 18-year-old, 17-year-old, 19-year-old tech geeks. They're accomplished individuals. And the mismanagement and the waste, fraud, and abuse was staggering. And I hope that every administration going forward keeps DOGE on, because it is so important. Americans work so hard for their tax dollars, and to watch it being pissed away is criminal in of itself. So that's the latest on the Elon Musk story and DOGE.
And he is limited to 130 days in any 365-day period. So they can try it. They can attempt to, twist and spin the story as best they can. But we all know the truth. We know the facts. And I think what's most important here is we stay focused on that. We don't panic. We don't watch MSNBC. Hell, I don't watch MSNBC. I watch it for you guys so that we can have these conversations and discussions. And I hope that you guys enjoy them. And more so, I was curious on how they were going to spin this as truly staggering that the U.S. consumers are set to feel the pain of Trump's tariffs. I'll finish watching this and then I'll compile a video and bring it to you guys later on. How's that sound?
But it is a shot at your political career.
Oh, and it hurts.
And is it frustrating to not, or do you know who you think it came from? Is Biden aware of this, or is it the people that are underneath Biden? Is it completely separate?
That's a great question. That's a great question. There are a lot of people, and I don't want to sound conspiracy theory, but there's a permanent government. There are people that see presidents and mayors come and go. Their attitudes will wait you out. You know what book is a great book, man? Everybody should read the book, Kash Patel's Government Gangsters.
Okay.
You need him on the pod.
Yeah, you should read that book, man.
Okay.
Cash breaks this down.
What is he? And is this what
he's now the FBI director?
Of course, we love Cash.
Yeah.
But is this what people refer to? And I think this word has been used too much, but the deep state or whatever it is.
It's not used too much. It's real, brother.
Oh, really?
It's, brother. Think about it.
Who's part of it? What are there current senators and that kind of stuff, or is it people that we don't even know but they're always existing?
And I have never seen anyone do such a good job of defining that deep state. You should have him on.
I would. Tell him to come on.
You should have him on.
We would love it.
The way he's
probably listening right now, right?
The way, because he was in. It's like me talking about what happens in NYPD after 22 years.
Yeah.
Cash was in the DOD. He was in the FBI. He prosecuted terrorists. So he comes with this wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the way he breaks it down,
yeah,
it's just unbelievable what this deep state is about and why it's so important for Americans that we cannot have a weaponizing of our prosecutorial powers. Now imagine the Southern District, right? Southern District of New York. That's one of the most powerful U.S. Attorney's office. In their mind, they say we're sovereign. You know what that means?
What do you mean they said they're sovereign?
That they don't have to answer to anyone.
Oh.
They don't have to answer to the president. They don't have to answer to the U.S. attorney in Washington, the attorney general in Washington. They believe they're a sovereign entity. You're not elected. You know what I'm saying? Imagine an entity believing they don't have to answer to anyone but
you
their
have to answer to the people, and ultimately the people that we put in power.